So today, requested by Emperor Eagle in the Discord, we have a special little bit of heresy. This is, can Space Marines join the Tau Empire by Majorkill? Wow. I really don't even want to know who asked this question to begin with, because frankly, the Tau deserve nothing but a nuclear extermination. In any case, we're going to go ahead and pop into this and start watching, and I'm going to try to hold back my bile. In any case.
G'day, guys and gal. Space Marines are considered to be incredibly intelligent, wise, and steadfast. Their willpower is nearly unbreakable, and they shall know no fear. On paper, this is true, but every day, previously loyal Astartes are turning their back on the Imperium and either becoming renegade pirates or just straight up interactive fleshlights for the forces of hell. So it begs the question, has an Astartes ever betrayed the Imperium for something other than the forces of chaos or themselves? Has an Astartes ever joined the Tau Empire? Is that even possible? Would the Tau triumph over the Imperium if they discovered the method of turning into Astartes, just like Chaos had done? The answer to these questions is coming later in this video, you impatient man. This isn't TikTok, alright? Also, this will be my last video with this haircut for summer. I'm going to try out a bit more of a funkier style. So who knows, maybe for once in my life I won't look like a privileged white kid.
There you
Probably
go.
still will, but worth a shot. Before we get started, Christmas is upon us.
Christmas.
And being the Warhammer loving nerd you are, you probably haven't gotten everyone close to you a present yet.
I'm gonna let this ad play.
Boxu Box comes in.
Boxu Box
is a subscription service that delivers a box of Japanese snacks and teas to your doorstep every month.
That looks
Some
good.
of the snacks are kind of familiar, and some will send your taste buds straight to the warp, in a good way. It's actually wild how Japan is able to create flavors and textures that you didn't even know existed. My personal experience with Boxu
Anime, that's the reason why.
has been great. I brought one of my boxes to a beers night with the boys, another one I've wrapped up for my parents as a Christmas gift, and the final one I eat whenever I feel like it because I'm an adult, and
There
that's
you
what
go.
adults do.
There you
On
go.
top of this, anyone who picks up a Boxu Box now till the end of December will go into the draw to win a pair of free tickets to Japan. That's pretty sweet. Get it? Because Japanese snacks sweet, and yeah, I'll go jump in front of her. To get 10% off your Boxu Box, as well as the chance to win free tickets to Japan,
This will be down in the description down below.
use my link and code Majorkill below for 10% off. Cheers
Be
to
in the
Boxu for
description.
sponsoring this video. Today we'll explore the question, can the Tau turn a Space Marine to their cause? Have they done so already? What would be the impact on the setting if the Tau had their own chapter? Let's get into it.
Yes.
There are many things that go into the creation of a Space Marine. Sure, you could just get a kid and load them full of gene seed and call it a day, but they wouldn't even be half an
That was wrong.
Astartes. They'd just be like a Night Lord, to be honest. The creation of Astartes takes grueling trials that push your mind and body to the limit. Each candidate basically gets cum blasted in the brain on the daily.
Wow.
A very vicious and thorough psycho-indoctrination program. This gives an Astartes an iron will and the ability to achieve great things under immense pressure. It's also designed to keep an Astartes loyal to the Emperor, and despite the whole Horus Heresy thingo, as well as Space Marines still betraying the Imperium till this day, it's still actually quite effective. The Horus Heresy was due to the Primarchs changing the psycho-indoctrination so that new recruits valued their gene fathers over the Emperor. Hence, after the heresy ended, there has been no wide-scale fall to chaos within the Space Marines. It's rare that a chapter will randomly just say, "Fuck it, give me that warp coke," and go full chaos. Space Marines know that chaos Kool-Aid is bad for the soul.
Unless you're Fulgrim.
Whenever a chapter falls these days, it's due to either gross neglect from the Imperium, malicious bad treatment by the Imperium, extreme luck for chaos, or a very long-winded and thought-out Titsnichian plot. But still, it does happen. So if a bunch of writhing tentacles, angry horns, smelly gremlins, and contradicting birds can convince Space Marines to join their team, then why can't the Tau? After all, the Tau are reasonable, welcoming, and don't want to rape your soul. It just seems like a much better deal. On top of that, Space Marines have fought alongside Xenos against greater threats before, so it's not like it's impossible for them to cooperate. But despite this, a Space Marine has never joined the Tau Empire, and it seems like they never will. Not for a lack of trying. The Tau have tried very, very, very hard to convert a Space Marine to their cause. There was a captured Raven Guard that the Tau thought they could convert. Firstly, they sent in an ex-Inquisitor who had joined the Tau Empire. He spoke to the Raven Guard about how the greater good would also protect humanity, and that it was clear that the Imperium was not a path to enlightenment for anyone. The Raven Guard told him to get fucked, hence the Tau resorted to more extreme methods to break him. They used a lot of advanced machinery and various what appears to be like mind readers to break down his psycho-indoctrination. However, many of the mind readers died in the attempt, and the machinery broke down, and eventually the Raven Guard was able to self-induce a double heart attack in order to kill himself before they could go any further.
There you go.
So the moral of the story is that the Space Marine would rather end their own fucking lives than join the Tau Empire. The Tau was so shocked that every method they tried...
Who wouldn't? Who would not?
Achieved absolutely nothing, especially against the Raven Guard, who were considered some of the more sensible Space Marines, so they declared all Space Marines to be high priority targets, kill on sight, take no prisoner. So why is Chaos able to turn Space Marines to their side if the Tau, arguably a much better option, cannot? Well, that's because Chaos works different to the Tau. No shit. The Tau will try to turn your mind to their cause. However, a Space Marine's mind is heavily fortified. All their psycho-indoctrination is designed for shit like Tau brainwashing. However, Chaos corrupts the soul and spirit. It's subtle and insidious, really emphasizes the saying, the path to hell is paved with good intentions.
Very true.
Here's a scenario. A Space Marine is ordered to kill his brothers who have committed heresy in order to protect an Imperial world. The Space Marine disobeys these orders, causing his chapter to be declared a renegade. From there, it could take centuries or even more before that chapter even considers turning to Chaos. In that time, they would have been cut off from supplies, hunted down and slowly killed off by Imperial attacks, before finally being so bitter that they accept Chaos as a weapon to avenge the wrongs that have been committed against them.
There you go.
That's if they even decide to join Chaos in the first place.
A lot of Loyalist chapters are out there that are actually considered renegade by the Inquisition. Not all of them turn. Some of them are actually still getting outside support. The Lamenters were on the verge of getting declared renegade, but they had people speak up in their defense. But yeah, this is actually very accurate when it comes to how renegade chapters wind up joining Chaos, because they just simply feel like they have no other choice. They either do that or face extinction.
There are multiple chapters in the galaxy that are still 100% loyal to the Emperor, but through bad luck, or the Inquisition just being their usual dickhead selves, these chapters are declared renegade. I even did a video about them because there's quite a few. Some people have said, why don't the Tau just make their own Space Marines? And it's a valid question. The Tau have captured and killed quite a few Astartes in their time, so they've definitely been able to dissect quite a few. They're also very smart enough to understand human anatomy and the workings of a gene seed. But here's where the issues arise.
This picture disgusts
Firstly,
me.
The Tau don't really like fucking with DNA and biomancy. It's been shown that the Tau could artificially extend their lives using gene therapy and manipulation, but this was actually banned by the Ethereals, as a Tau who could fiddle with their lifespan and body could technically ascend beyond them.
Don't necessarily agree with that. The Tau Ethereals don't want the Tau fucking with their genetics, because one day some Tau might figure out that they're being controlled en masse by the Ethereals, and while that might not do anything for it, because he would just consider it a good old day. Oh wow, we found another reason the Ethereals are great. Once a secret like that could get out to, like, I don't know, the Enclaves, they could design a genetic virus that would disable the Ethereals' hold on Tau society as a whole. That's why they don't want them screwing around with genetics, because the second they do that, Tau civilization goes up in smoke.
It was only until Commander Farsight led his people from the Ethereals to form their own civilization that the Tau actually basically started inventing their own rejuvenation treatments. So the first issue is that the Ethereals probably wouldn't sign off on the Tau learning enough about biomancy to be able to make Space Marines. Another issue is the logistical cost. The Tau will not be able to make gene seed full stop. Gene seed requires DNA of a Primarch, which requires DNA from the Emperor, as well as the Emperor's extreme knowledge. There's just no way a Tau could recreate it. Hence, any gene seed they got for their Tau Astartes project would have to be taken from the corpses of fallen Space Marines. As the Tau haven't killed that many Space Marines, alongside the fact that Tau weaponry isn't very good when it comes to preserving gene seed in a dead...
And let's not even go into the fact the second the Tau did that, the Imperium would stop at nothing to wipe them out. And The Tau could not stand up to that whatsoever. The Tau skirts the edge of being able to hold on to anything. And the only reason they haven't been wiped out, and they are fully aware of the fact, is that humanity doesn't take them as that much of a threat and generally just implies a fly swatter technique once they bite too hard. But if they started actively attempting to take gene seed and form their own space marines, that would be an issue the Imperium would not overlook.
Space Marine, they would have very little gene seed to work with. But let's just pretend they hit the jackpot. The Ethereals allowed it, or more likely, the Farsight Enclaves wanted to give it a shot. They stumble upon a cache of 1,000 fresh gene seed and bring them home. They implant their human recruits, all of whom have been DNA tested to ensure maximum compatibility, and the success rate is quite high. The new Tau Stardies learn quickly, are brave on the battlefield and very powerful. These Tau Space Marines are then deployed against the Raven Guard and are completely fucking destroyed.
Yes.
As I said, the gene seed that gives a Space Marine their physical power is only a small slice of the pie. The psycho-indoctrination, extreme recruitment process, and brutally small success rate of creating a Space Marine is essential to their success. To be able to be thrown from a drop pod into the middle of a battle against the greatest horrors the galaxy can throw at you and not even hesitate takes some serious balls, or a lot of autism. The Tau Space Marines might be physically strong and capable, but when stress tested against real Space Marines, would crumble and burn. The time and resource cost of creating and arming each Tau Space Marine would also probably not even be worth it. On top of this, when the Imperium catches on to what the Tau are doing, the Tau threat level would dramatically increase, and a large Crusade fleet would wipe out their entire race in a handful of years. I like the Tau, but even Tau fans have to admit that the Tau's current existence relies on the fact that they're not seen as huge threats by the Imperium. Hence, any Imperial invasions of the Tau, like the Damocles Crusade, were not overly serious affairs. Reverse engineering advanced and sacred Imperial tech would be a one-way ticket to the cum zone for the Blueberry Boys. It really all comes down to the question, do the Tau even need Space Marines to be competitive in the Warhammer 40k universe? Would having them make them a galactic threat that isn't just alive because the big players are too busy fighting each other rather than them?
The answer to that is no. They can compete at the level they're at as long as they don't overstep, and they have serious time that they can play with. As long as they keep on slow rolling, they'll be fine. And eventually they're going to reach a point where they're too big of a threat to be ignored.
Not at all. The Tau aren't small and weak because they lack transhuman super soldiers.
Population.
They are a new race. They have short lifespans and they breed slowly. Their lack of warp knowledge combined with their small souls and no psychers also means that their faster than light travel is super shit. It's very hard for them to expand their empire. Having Space Marines will not fix any of these main issues. If I was the Tau, I would invest more into capturing and breeding navigators so that their warp travel didn't suck such massive balls. Also goes without saying, they should figure out how a Gellerfield works in the meantime. I'm glad the Tau don't have Space Marines. Not every faction should just be like a reskin of another. At the end of the day, they have literal mecha Gundams to help them fight their battles. What else do you need? If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then Patreon is the place to be.
Oh my god. See, this is Watercast garbage again. But in any case, I'm going to be putting his promo down in the description down below. I'm not sure if it's still active, but if it is, hey, get yourself some Japanese snacks. In any regard, I like Majorkill videos. It's just my kind of humor. But I'll tell you this right now. I look forward to the day when, you know, I have the kind of camera and the setup and all that kind of stuff, and hopefully one day that'll come soon. But until then, I'll catch you guys next time.